For 4 years I had the dream of walking to the North Pole, and 2 times I've trying alone and I didn't succeed. Then I met you, Jean-Gabriel, and I asked you if you wanted to come along with me to the North Pole, and you said yes. And when the helicopter left us 58 days ago, 1,000 kilometers south of here, you had never been wearing a pair of cross-country skis, and still you said yes. That just shows me that you don't need to be a polar hero or a superwoman or superman to do this. You just need to endure some sufferings and fight and take some pain, and then most important, whether it's a will, there is a way. 4 kilometers away from my dream. Wow, it's so big for me. It's really, you know, big.
I'm a filmmaker, and for the last 10 years, I've been traveling around the world to film adventurers and scientists in some of the wildest places on Earth. 2 years ago, while I was on a film shoot at the North Pole, love came and knocked at the door of my tent. Bettina works at the head of a big Scandinavian publishing company, employing more than 2,000 people. But she's also a true adventurer. She has crossed jungles, deserts, Greenland, and she has tried 2 times to reach the North Pole alone. Unfortunately, she was attacked by a polar bear and had to kill him. Bettina has 2 young children, Christopher and Emily. They are responsible for our tent decoration.
Mamma, og så har jeg skrevet mor den bedste.
Hvad tegner I derinde?
Alt muligt. Ja,
Hvad tegner I?
alt muligt har vi nu.
Tegner I nogle fine ting, som vi kan se på inde på Nordpolen? Ja. Jeg tror, jeg glæder mig til at komme og se det. Så, men der hvor der er størst risiko for at møde bjørne,
Det er lige
det er
der.
isbjørne, det er her i kanten, ikke?
Ja.
Fordi de går her og leder efter sæl og sådan noget. Og alt det her, det er jo et hav. Det er jo et Arctic Ocean, hedder det, eller Polarhavet. Og det er fuld af is. Og den her is, den driver sådan lidt her. Det er derfor, vi starter her, for så med lidt held, så kan man drive lidt af vejen, ikke? 1000 kilometer. This is what we will miss out there, the heat from the fireplace.
Og jeg håber, at vi ses igen.
Det er hvad kommer til at savne allermest. I try not to think about saying goodbye to the kids because it's too hard to think about. But it's part of the thing. I can't live without saying goodbye. But I hate to say goodbye. I'm better at saying hello.
A few goodbyes, 4 planes, and 5,000 kilometers later, we arrive in Khatanga, at the extreme north of Siberia. This year, we will be 5 different expeditions going on the ice. Ben is English. He would like to cross solo from Siberia to Canada. Wave is trying to be the first American to reach the pole solo and unsupported. Frederick wishes the same for France. And Dominic is trying for the second time to be the first woman solo to the pole. All expeditions are preparing their equipment together and sharing information. Contrary to many sports, everyone wishes the success and the safety of the others. It's maybe because what's ahead of us is much more than a sportive challenge.
Well, we will know if it's waterproof when you are crossing the first lead.
When and why did you learn to yoga again?
Well, it was the first time I went to the North Pole. I was alone, unsupported, and I needed to defend myself to a polar bear. So I bought a gun. And unfortunately, I had to shoot a polar bear with it.
What has happened?
Well, I was walking and I was looking at the left of me, and suddenly I saw there was something moving, and it was a polar bear. And he kept on being there, and I tried to scare him away, and I was shooting in the air, and I was having flares, and he was just looking at what is happening, and then he came closer and closer and closer, and after 1 hour he was around me. And then in the end I had to take the gun, and I was yelling no, because I really didn't want to shoot him, but I don't want to end up on his menu. So I will have the gun and you will have the camera. Is that a fair deal?
I don't know if the polar bear will be afraid of the camera.
No.
We have been trapped in Ratanga for 8 days, not knowing when we will be able to fly to our departure point. We really don't understand why, but the powerful Russian directing the base via which we'll be evacuated at the end of our expedition is doing everything he can to delay us. After 10 days waiting, our departure is for tomorrow. Suddenly, I no longer understand the others. Dominique is smiling, even if she lost all her toes on the ice last year, and the strong Frederick is calm and serene. Me, I'm afraid.
I'm not afraid to go tomorrow. I just waiting, will have a good sleep, and tomorrow morning I just go to the North Pole.
You have none the really worst on the ice. How can you be smiling and not afraid?
No, you know you have to take it easy. When you are on the ice, I have just to pull the sledge and yeah.
When we arrived close to our departure point, the Cap Artichevski, I could see that Christian, responsible for all expeditions logistic, was very worried. Something was wrong, and I saw the fear in Bettina's eyes. When I filmed what she was looking at, I got so scared that for the first time in my life, I overexposed an important shot. There was water all around, and only a few thin pieces of ice. At this moment, I was no longer the one filming the adventurers. I became the one who was going to risk his life. Seeing the dangerous conditions, the Russian pilot decided to fly on and to land on the first good piece of ice he found after the cap. He said to Christian that those starting out from the cap wanted to die.
It's so thin, 31st. He can't land on before Artichevski and there. And he said if bad weather is coming in 1 hour, it will be like Beirut, everything broken and full of water. It's really thin.
What do you think, Bettina?
Yeah, I would like to start from the top. But I don't want to risk my life, and I want to go all the way to the North Pole. I don't want to end up in the water in 3 days, and then it's all over. So I don't think we have much choice when we are so late in time.
Christian can't convince Dominique and Frederick. They want to fly back to the cap and to take the risk to set off from there.
See that pony?
Yeah. I think you are going on good auspice.
Blondie, don't drink too much vodka now.
Courage! Et Jean-Gab, merci pour tout. Hein.